So this is my last video on my Chat May Space Quest series that I'm doing, and I wanted to do some honorable mentions of pieces that you would find associated with Space Quest but aren't directly linked to them, and also talk about just some of the pieces that I'm missing. Now we have these two black robots here, and they are both Chat May, but they're from earlier. They're from 1998, 1997, and you'll see them bundled in with a lot of Space Quest stuff, but they're not really part of the series. But they are very cool. They do match up really well, and they're not bad. You can see they're both slightly out of scale from each other. One is slightly shorter, one is slightly larger, and you will also see that that is the case with the Space Quest. The Space Quest guys are somewhere in the middle between these two guys. I'll talk about this guy. He's the least impressive of them. He kind of reminds me of the Big Bad Beetleborgs kind of style. He has one hand that's in the vertical position and one hand that's in the horizontal position. He has this little antenna here that is molded onto his shoulder. He's got a little respirator on him, and he has some silver picked out on the front. And as you go to the back, he has just a very little bit of silver on the back of him. And he's pretty skinny. This example has pretty tight joints. He's got some little knee pads on there and a little camera. And you'll see that this harness looks very similar. And it's almost like you can see like the evolution of the Space Quest guys in this guy. Now this second dude, I don't have a lot of information about him, but he has this giant claw on his hand, on his right arm. His left arm has a silver gauntlet, and he has some pretty cool knee pads that are pretty sharp and pointy. But you'll see that from the cyborg guy, he doesn't have as much detail. It's not as crisp and intricate on him. His back is basically blank, and you'll see that he has a hole here, and what that hole is for a battery. And he has these little button batteries here that go into his back, and this is his panel that goes onto his back here, and it just snaps in like that, and then it has a little screw, and there's a button on the front here on the center of his chest, and when you press this button, his eyes will light up red. This button is frozen up. It's seized up there pretty good, and the batteries are dead. But when you press this, his whole head will light, well, not his whole head, but his eyes will light up with a red LED, which is pretty cool. Now, the part number for this button cell battery is 357A, and most of these little Chat May accessories and figures come with these button batteries, and there's usually about 2 of them per unit. Now, something else that uses these little button batteries is this little flashlight here, this spotlight. There's the button on the side, and it also lights up red. I opened this one up before the video, and the batteries are just completely corroded, and it's really grody in there, so I'm just going to leave this one alone. And the other thing that I wanted to discuss is some of the parts that I'm missing. Now, there's a monkey that comes with the Space Quest series. I haven't seen it, but I hear it's out there somewhere. And there are also these 2 little rubber aliens with little eye stalks on them, and they come in these little pods that you can capture them and transport them as like scientific samples and stuff. I've seen them online, but I haven't really seen them in real life. And also, as discussed in the earlier Space Rover video, there is another Space Rover, and I'm gonna try to look for that and get it, but at the time of the video here, I don't have it. But those are just some honorable mentions. I am going to be doing a video series on the Chat May Beast Raiders, and I have some really, really cool stuff for that. And I'm also going to be looking into Zyber 9, which is another series, and I'm also going to be going over Shadowrun duels, and these are just all kind of old toy series that really didn't take off. They're really bad, but the toys are pretty high quality, and they're dirt cheap on eBay. There's just a ton of you can get the whole series of figures for like $10 or $20, and you can get all the vehicles for all of them for under $100 on some of these sets. So that'll be in the future, and thanks for watching.